Right. Nice, thank you. Right. So very warm Saturday morning greetings to you all. So the cold season started, right? But still, right? We have to go miles and miles, so miles to go ahead before we crack the examinations. So as usual, before we getting into the session, so any doubts, clarification of previous sessions, any updates, because that is also important. Okay. Once you are reviewing, referring your notes, there are certain things need to be updated. Latest things need to be added. Okay. That's only possible with the revision. So once you start revision, then you know what you have written. Then something changes, immediately you will recollect that, and there either you can add it or delete it. Okay, strike it off the old one and make it as a new one completely. Mainly the names arises and something builds acts, it dawns all these things. So last week we don't have a session, so keeping that in mind, so the few important aspects of previous week too will covered in addition to all the way. Anyhow, the major thing is again the spotlight of Article 370, the special status of Jammu and Kashmir is that to and it was undone by the government and naturally filed a case in Supreme Court. Finally, Supreme Court recently delivered its verdict. Even everybody knows the moment it has not given any stay order or not made any comments, even it is assumed that Supreme Court is not going to invalidate one. So as expected, okay, as expected, the Supreme Court upheld the abrogation of special status to Jammu and Kashmir. Any point you have to keep in mind is 370 is still there in the constitution. So last time we discussed everything. Only the special status that has done away with. And recently I kept a detailed article with a background in our group as well. So for those details, in depth of historical background and everything, just go through that. That itself is an obstacle compared to others, and innumerable videos to appearing on this. And I know that we discussed a lot on this, but still, let us a quick recollection of those things. Here, the point that made it is hitherto Jammu and Kashmir is where is this? Okay. When come to the Jammu and Kashmir, when 48 it became, it's a state, isn't it? Now, with the scrapping of special status, Jammu and Kashmir get divided into two. One is Jammu and Kashmir, another is Ladakh, which you are aware very much. That's all right. Second step they had taken is they converted both Jammu and Kashmir, that is newly created Jammu and Kashmir, as well as Ladakh as union territories. There the legal question arises. Can the parliament do so? No doubt parliament has the power to convert union territory into a statehood. That means you are elevating the status, a promotion. you can divide the states into number of states, but nowhere mention that demotion, a state to union territory. Can it be so? So that point, finally, Supreme Court gone through the provisions of the Constitution and stated that no doubt it is subject to the future decisions, and at the same time restore the statehood. No doubt, one of the promise of the government is that we will restore the statehood for Jammu and Kashmir. Only specific date is not given. But now that, yes, you have to make it. And quick recollection, which articles are talking about this? Just convert, I mean, like no, Telangana, Andhra state get divided. One single state get divided into two states. Now it is concerned. No? Sure? Of course, amendment part is concerned. You have Article 368, it can amend the provisions. But this specific power, yes, Parliament has the power to do so or not. Which, what majority that requires to do so? Because for some amendments, you required simple majority, or plus one. Some amendments require two-third majority. Some amendments, it required two-third majority plus consent of more than half of the states. So we have three methods in amending the provisions of the Constitution as per Article 368. Now the question arises, yes, Parliament no doubt has the power to amend the any provision of the Constitution, including fundamental rights, right? That was stated by the Supreme Court in the Keshavanda Bharti case as well. So my question is, under which article now this Jammu and Kashmir get divided into two parts and got the union territory status? Hmm? Because always we have to keep in mind the provisions of the Constitution. That's the most important aspects. Whenever arises, because number of times I'm stating, our holistic approach is required for preparing it. Once you recollect relevant information, you get. And simple way is Google Mata Jindabad. When you say this, go ahead. Only thing is you need to get the question. Under what? Because finally that's required. And especially when the mains orientation like this, you have to write. Once you have written this article, it's an authoritative. Okay, need not quote each and every article wherever this sort of relevance is required. So Article 1 is what? Hmm? India, that is Bharat, right? So if I put it up directly, the thing is concerned, right? Is of course this is a number of times we discussed about this. Can it be used India or Bharat? Either way, it's a name related. Shall be a union of states. So the word states, again, you have to keep in mind. Okay. Union, now they came together, right? Or consisting of few states. This is the word generally we made it. We have not used the word federal. So whether India is a federal or unitary is a subjective again. We combined both the features of unitary and federal. Federal, double. You have central government, state government. Division of powers between central government and state government. The division of powers is very crucial aspect of federalism. Unitary, single point, right? Only one, not two or more. So whenever authority is concentrated, we call it a unitary. We have single constitution. Is it a unitary feature or a federal feature? Whenever you use the word one, that's it. It is a unitary feature. Single citizenship, a unitary feature. Isn't it? Existence of division of powers. As per this, no, seventh schedule, clearly we have union list, state list, concurrent list. That clearly reflects the federal structure. Independent judiciary reflect the federal structure. Representation of states in Rajya Sabha, the Council of States, that itself. This is the federal feature. So the Constitution clearly visualized the federal feature. Okay? At the same time, certain singleness. So the unitary feature. So we combined both the features of federal and unitary. So we have not used the word federal. So nowhere in the Constitution you will find federal. Nowhere in the Constitution you will find the word federal. Even nowhere you will find the word quasi-federal. Nowhere it is. So Constitution described India politically only as the Union of States. But still, the word, this has an interlink with this the word. So this is what we call the spirit of federalism. Have we adhered into that, the vision and mission of the fathers of the Constitution in doing so? That's what the question arises at one point. And that was raised by the Advocate General. So when you use the word, right, the first schedule clearly mentioned what are the states and everything. Then territory of India, when you use the word territory of the states, union territories, and such other territories as may be acquired, all these things mentioned in the Article 1. So this point you have to keep in mind, especially while analyzing the issue. Got it? Then, when it comes to the Article 2, okay. So here, because let us see the bare article as it is. It is going down all the way. Yeah. So here, Parliament may by law admit into the union. That means what it means by admit? New one. You are acquiring, which is right now it is not there. Or when use the word or, establish new states on such terms and conditions as it think fit. This is what the mentioned, right? Sikkim in 1975 already we got the thing is concerned. This is of two. Then the 3 is very important from this point of view now. Parliament may by law form a new state by separation of territory from any state. By separation of territory from any state, or by uniting two or more states or parts of states, or by uniting any territory to part of any. That's what they said. Then again, increasing the area, diminishing the area, alter the boundaries, alter the even the name of such territory. Now that you are aware of this 1, 2, 3, which article it has done it? 3 only, right? One is general, second one is relating to admission from other countries. So existing one, if you want to do anything, it is Article 3. So this is what the formation of new states, and you have to remember this one, and if not, go back and do that. You don't have any alternative. Then only it will be, yes, imprinted virtually in our brain cells. Then you can easily recollect the facts. A qualitative reading. Don't crazy with quantity. Okay? There is no end for that quantity. Whatever you know, yes, that's it. You know it. All the essentials. When essential means the basics. All the exam you find it, prelims are things, it's the basics. They're not going, you are not going to do any research here. Only thing is, by Googling it, you are recollecting the basics, going to the basics, from advanced to basics, otherwise we call. Okay, so very essential in this part is concerned. So it has done it. Now, just keep a Supreme Court judgment aside. Keep in that in mind, do you feel that Supreme Court has the power to convert a state into union territory? No doubt he has the power to promote, okay, union territory to things, or once you divide it, you can make it as union territory. Can the demotion be happen? Okay, specifically not mentioned. But when you use the word territory of India, okay, territory of India includes states. They never use the word R, right? Union territories. So by interpreting that, government feels that yes, we have the power to go ahead with this. But Supreme Court, not only the letter, okay, because the letter is no doubt very important, and who is the final interpreter of the letter, or otherwise we call the provisions of the Constitution? The Supreme Court is the final interpreter. While doing so, it not only take the letter, now and then it will take the spirit of the Constitution into mind. Letter and spirit. Okay? Especially after Keshwananda Bharati case, when Supreme Court stated that, right, no doubt Parliament can amend any provision of the Constitution, but without affecting the basic structure. So once the word basic structure arises, what it means? Nowhere mentioned in the Constitution, the word basic structure. Then again, you have to go back to the debates and discussions of the constitutional makers, then derive the conclusions from that. Isn't it? And of course, their vision and mission was reflecting in the introductory part of the Constitution, that is preamble. Which article, by the way, preamble? Huh? We have 395 articles, right? Which article is talking about the preamble? Huh? No article. So we called it as a zero article. Okay? When you start with the zero, article zero, right? So the name. So it's an introductory part. Reflects there. There is sovereign, socialist, secular, democrat, republic, justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, unity, integrity, right? Everything, right? As mentioned. That invokes. And it got the life in the future judgments like Maneka Gandhi case, right? It has looked into all the way. Even in Minerva Mills case, where it balanced the fundamental rights vis-a-vis directive principles. It goes on like this. So everywhere it is using its uh, discretion in a what we call active manner, that is judicial activism when we called it up. Not only procedure established by law, which clearly mentioned Article 21 or 13, we adopted due process of law as in the American Constitution. The reason why everyone of us, because always when the parliament has done something, government has done something, definitely they will adhere to the law. As per law, they will do that. May not look into the spirit. Why we have hopes on Supreme Court is because of that spirit. Plus Article 142, which has given the power of Supreme Court to raise to the occasion, even when no law is existing. You can state it, isn't it? Then the Ayodhya case, allotting a land to the Muslims is clearly reflecting. And recently, divorce need not wait for 1 year. So, like this, you have innumerable things where the Supreme Court came up and used this Article 142. So, the hopes of the people still there on the independent judiciary. So, here and there, we have few doubts. So, finally, yes, we the people will get the meaning, the meaningful meaning only with our judiciary. And judiciary is raising to that occasion. And one of the aspect is promotion, not the demotion, is an essence. Or the status quo has to be maintained. Why you are degrading? When that finally arises, right now the state, let it be so. Okay? You divided Jammu and Kashmir. That second part a union territory, let it be. But existing, when the name is there, yes, that should be a state. Okay? Like now Andhra Pradesh get divided. Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. You may make it Telangana either a state or union territory is your discretion. But let Andhra Pradesh be a state. So like this, this was divided. So let it be so. So it's very clear that the judiciary, though has taken the time, came up to the expectations of the people of Jammu and Kashmir too. At least now there rises. Now Ladakh people may feel it, what mistake we had done. If we had the problem is Jammu and Kashmir. To resolve the problem of Jammu and Kashmir, right? You divided. Good. Then why you demoted us? Okay. They are struggling, no doubt. Okay. Last class we discussed that. Now, okay, let it be so. No statehood. But at least give us Ladakh what they are asking. They want to be in which schedule? Fifth or sixth? Sixth they wanted. So that because the Ladakh, most of the tribal belt, okay, along with other four states, Ladakh too should be given a special status as the tribal part is concerned. Okay. So let us see what the court will, the government will take the decision right now. That's also there in the code. You have to wait and see. So this the facts you have to keep in mind, my dear. Then only you will understand those aspects. Clear? Okay. So as it uphold the abrogation and ending the special status. Hope there no need for me to go back to the 48 and all the things, because number of times we discussed in a way how the Jammu and Kashmir become, and quick recollection of the main uh, aspect, right? And they said once Jammu and Kashmir became part of India, one of the state, the most important thing when the concept of sovereignty arises, sovereignty is only an element of state, not of, I mean, state here implies the country, not of a particular part of the country. Sovereignty is possessed by only the nation, the state. Although technically, once upon they used to word the state, not a federal part, is a country otherwise called. Only country is having this, not a particular part of the country. The moment now hitherto is an independent, now become part, automatically it loses its sovereignty. Like Sikkim, right? Sikkim is an independent country till 1974. 74 it become associate state. Later it become full-fledged state. So once it becomes the things, it is no more possess sovereignty. Similarly, in 1961 we occupied Goa. Before that, Goa is an independent, so it's a sovereign. And once it's a part and parcel, it can't it be. So you can't say that Jammu and Kashmir enjoys this sovereignty. Whatever agreements relating to, if you no doubt some special benefits you are given, it doesn't mean the concept of sovereignty. Okay, sovereignty means supreme power, internal sovereignty. Within that, you have every right to make a laws, externally free from outside control. Jammu and Kashmir is not free, right? It is under the Constitution of India. It is under the guidance, supervision of the central government. So you can't say that word sovereignty. So it's an integral part on the parties. And second aspect, when it comes to this Article 370, is it a temporary or permanent? There's another issue. When this is very clear that is only temporary provision. That is what when you use the word transitional is nothing but temporary. So temporary is temporary. At any point of time, it can be undone. You can undo it at any point as you wish. So that point also was kept aside. So this was done in 2019. And similarly, the Constituent Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir, they use the word legislative. Once the Constituent Assembly, Legislative Assembly, when you're talking about, even take India, Indian Constitution was prepared by the Constituent Assembly. It is the moment you prepared the Constitution and given it, there end the matter. Its life ended because it came into force only for that purpose. Till the new parliament was constituted, the Constituent Assembly acted as a provisional parliament. After that, it's a parliament. Logically, if you derive this verse, same thing applies to Jammu and Kashmir. Okay? No doubt, as per Article 37 special status, you allowed Kashmir to prepare its own law of the land, its own constitution, in tune with the Constitution of India. It prepared, it tasked over, so automatically it will allow evaporate. Isn't it? Automatically. and its successor who assembly. So here the logical reasoning was applied. So as per this, legally it's right. So it upheld even that argument, which is not there. So this is what at that time, no, J&K legislative complex, even it is written previously the Constituent Assembly, the wording, and this the building looks like. Then now, as the thing is concerned, you have to restore the statehood at by September 13. Always mere stating may not be effective. Hitherto, even central government promised that we will restore the statehood. Never promised by when, isn't it? It's also talking about. There's heavy demands on this. And he said, given the deadline. Always deadlines is essential. You may not adhere to. If necessary, you can extend, right? But deadline is essential. Even for everything. Even the life also you apply this. The deadline is very crucial. Then only you will get the planning part. Can again the issue arises, Supreme Court dictate the government do this by this so and so? It can. Which article? Again, if no article mentioned, just keep in mind 142. It has given the wider powers to it. Anything else? Isn't it? So, it made it very clear. So, already delimitation exercise over. Okay, delim commission was appointed, submitted its report. Now, on the ground, it should be need to be done. Isn't it? So, it's not a tough job. Now that parliament elections are going to be, right? April, May, definitely it is going to be there, and May, a new government will step in, either the existing one may come or new come, whatever it be, by September they are held. If they find it difficult, again request the Supreme Court by special leave petition to extend the date by showing the reasons. But otherwise, there's no option. You have to go and make the plan for statehood, not only for statehood, and conducting the elections to the Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. And nothing to do with what? Union Territory of Ladakh here. Only they made it the point. Ladakh will continue as it is. And another thing, it recommended the setting up of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. What is this? Have you ever heard this one? In India, we never heard this. But in foreign countries, somewhere in like the Kenya and others, wherever some problems arises, and especially in Sri Lanka, whenever the human rights violations happening, what the fact-finding mission? What's the truth? Is it really a human rights violations there? For that purpose, they used to appoint a commissions by generally the UN. The board is for that, mainly relating to the human rights violations. Now, Supreme Court, because there are allegations and everything of human rights violations, as well as high-handedness of the armed personnel, the police. So, what is the truth in that? Is it a defensive or offensive? What defensive? You start doing, then there no, because the army, police, finally they have to defend. So, in the process, it is happening, or deliberately they are doing. Either innocent people get targeted, can innocent people suffer? So, those aspects will be looked into by, but it's only recommendation. The central government says yes, it will adhere to also. Let's wait and see when and when it is going to be done it. So This Truth and Reconciliation Commission will investigate and report the violations of human rights, both by the state as well as non-state actors. What it means, non-state actors, state means the government, right? What the government has done it, whether the police or the army. Okay. What is non-state actor? Whom we call? Hmm? They're actors, they're the participant, they're the stakeholders sometimes, but not having the authority. They are not sovereign, right? The parties, they don't have an authority to carry on, but still they will do that. For example, in general, no, the NGOs, when called non-governmental organizations, MNCs, they play a very crucial role in policy making. So we call them as non-state actors. They will dictate, sometimes run the parallel governments, like the terrorists when they're doing, is the non-state actors. Now in Myanmar happening, no, few groups virtually running the parallel government in certain parties concerned. They're taking control. So internal issue is going on in Myanmar. Amen, right? Houthis, the related parties, they control few pockets. Government versus for them. So wherever civil war is happening, you can say others. They call non-state actors. And in Jammu and Kashmir, you have the terrorist organization, right? What are the organization? Terrorist organizations. Hmm? Lashkar-e-Toiba, for example. Hmm? LET. Apart from this, so once upon a time you have JKLF, Jammu and Kashmir Liberation Front. Of course, now it is banned in a way because they never participate in the election process. They will try to do so by winning the or their aim or aspirations through violent means, not through non-violence, not through constitutional methods. So this we call militant terrorist organizations also come under here. So when human rights violation implies not only the police high-handedness or army high-handedness, but also of these terrorists, these other groups, whoever doing it. So from two sides, not just a one side, right? So general claim by Indians, whenever our army made some innocent human right violation. What about terrorists killing innocents? Isn't it? So here and there, no, what is the Taj incident or Lumbini incident or Gokul Chat incident? Is it not human rights violation? Right? You can't happily sit anywhere. You can't eat your pani puri or anything else. And what is this? Is it not a human rights violation? So, unfortunately, it was looked one point, especially the Islamic countries, other than thing is concerned. Whenever Indian troops did, is a human right violation, not vice versa. When the terrorists attacked and killed innocents, they are silent. Is it not human rights violations? Same thing, this Naxals issue arises. Whenever the police, what is called, encounters everything and this, they said human rights violation. Whenever those Naxals killed somebody, kidnapped somebody, never talked about human rights violation. This is unfortunate, the stance taken by. So Supreme Court is very cautious in this and said, when you find this, yes, let's go ahead with human rights violations, but still it has to be looked into both the part. And at that time, no, saying very clearly, army is not to rule in here, right? Is so this, the thing is to for the defend. In the process, anything may happen. You have to kill while defending it. You have given that power only to the army and the police. There, no human rights will come into the front. But if they're done other than that, right? In the process, for example, the rapes here and there you are finding on this ones. Yes, that has to be done. It's not your part of the duty, isn't it? So, like those sort of things, you can notice and that this TRC, Truth and Reconciliation Commission, came up with a new concept for us. Okay, that's what Supreme Court sometimes raised the occasion. So, with that, What's happening is concerned, you will not have any sort of emotions and passions here vis-a-vis Supreme Court judgment is concerned. No for and against. So for every point is looks, yes, we are for everyone. Okay, not a bias either for the government or for something else. Okay, so the rule of law, when all are equal before the eyes of law, clearly reflecting on this issue. So there are things which you have to keep in mind. And the impact, of course, in the mains point of view, giving voting rights to even to the refugees who are coming here and settling here and become Indian citizens. Yes, they can get these voting rights and reservation of seats for Jammu and Kashmir Pandits, displaced people from the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Similarly, the investors outside Jammu and K now purchase land in Union territories, etc. So all these things will be have an impact on this. And in tune with is very clear, right? Yeah, I mean, quick recollection, few things, anything we miss. 370 election should be held, statehood should be returned at the earliest, the deadline also given. And yeah, Ladakh will continue as a union territory. And there's one observation, it can't challenge every decision of the center part is concerned, okay? And when the similar thing is a coincidence, perhaps, as the central government moving towards governance in Jammu and Kashmir, towards that empowering. So the two bills it introduced, one is Jammu and Kashmir Reservation Amendment Bill, right? So it wished to address the evolving socio-economic dynamic, they said, right? Aims to amend the existing law. What the thing is concerned, J&K Reservation Act, replacement of the weak and underprivileged classes with other backward class. Hitherto, there is a word is there. Now, there is no question of weak and underprivileged. OBC was used here. So, extend the reservation benefits to broader spectrum now. The moment OBC, hitherto in Jammu, reservation it is not there. So, now that is made. There's a significant aspect because finally, one of the thing is concerned one nation, one law. Okay, that is one aspect. So a unitary future in a way. So this they made it to the done. And similarly, sorry, reorganization also is done, enhancing this political representation. Okay, in this year, the seats was raised, assembly seats rise from 100 to 114 now. So previously it is 107, now 104 thing is concerned. And 9 seats reserved for scheduled tribes. And the concept of nomination was retained here. Lieutenant Governor can nominate 2 members from Kashmiri migrant community, including 1 woman. And similarly, a representative from POK, refugees in India post wars, also will be given. So, something the government too wanted to do vis-a-vis with the in concern. Then one more thing. When it comes to the Jammu itself, okay, though it's not mentioned here, the seats is concerned because Jammu as well as Kashmir, the two issues are there. So in Jammu, it used to be 37. So previously 37, now it become 43. So no more 37 now. And Kashmir 46, now it become 47. So no more 46 now. And POK, when you use the word Pakistan occupied Kashmir, we thought if not today, tomorrow we will get 24 seats was reserved even for POK. Okay, so that fact also keep in mind. And as you said, SC/ST got reserved. 9 seats were reserved for SC and ST. Okay, so that fact you can keep that in mind additionally. So nomination criteria, reservation criteria, as mentioned, there's a point which you have to keep in mind. So that is about Jammu and Kashmir. Any doubts relating to? Okay. Then back to the next one when the bells. Here, Jammu and Kashmir bill was introduced. They want to make it, but when the criminal law bills, they withdrawn and reintroduced. What it is, withdrawn and reintroduced. Why withdrawn? Why reintroduced? Hmm. So they want to undo this colonial mindset. So when Indian Penal Code, CRPC, they're done long, long back. Why now it is? Why this 1860s? Now why can't we make ourselves and give Indianness, Bharatatva, Bharatiya words, so that slowly we can undo. And few things we don't want, even vocabulary. We thought. So last class we discussed in detail. So refer those things. But quick recollection is that Indian Penal Code, this what we call IPC, right? So it's no more. This is going to be Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, BNS. So you never find IPC in future. Similarly, Evidence Act. Either you will find you want now Bharatiya Saksha Act, BSA. In the course of time, the bill become act when that will be the thing, BS. EA become BS. Then this what we call Code of Civil Procedure, the generally we call CRPC. Okay, so it's no more Bharatiya because everywhere that this Bharatiya this Nagarik Suraksha Sanhita. So BNS, BNSS. Okay. These two IPC, CRPC is crucial evidence it is. So they are going to be these retained as it is, as it is referred because always committees are there. When the committees looked into, they suggested few things. Now they want to induct those recommendations of the committee. They can actually do so by amending, but as innumerable things are there, one, two, all right. Thing is concerned, they wanted to completely overhaul it and reintroduce again. So now let us wait and see. So after that, we'll discuss in detail. Okay. Right now, name will be there as it is. Now you will not find these things. These are the new things. Okay. So the sections also changes. Okay. Now 420. Okay. Always use no cheater when you say this is a 420 garden. So that section itself is getting changed now. The future it won't be. Okay. Even the murder, rape, and all those things, there's a change of sections. And whichever you don't want, you are undoing, like sedition. Okay. Desadrohandam. They are completely undone. It's coming in a different mode now. And vocabulary. Okay. The words and everything. Okay. Last time we discussed in detail. So going to, but anyhow, once now after reintroducing and everything discussion become act, we'll discuss in detail. This is what updates you have to be. Okay. Keep in mind for the future. Then, of course, a crazy news, for exam point of view, may not be directly, but still very important and very unfortunate incident again happened. Okay. So, the few people entered into the Lok Sabha, of course, with a valid pass, and misused it, right? And created the some sort of anarchical scenario for some time. Nobody knows what is occurs, what is going to be happen. So what purpose they had did it is the next question. Okay. Now only investigation will reveal. So everybody is talking now the new parliament building, entering become tough. So what is the position of security? Anyhow, few security persons, because there's no, they conducted few recce and identified that they are not checking the shoe. Right now, once you enter the metro, they're only checking like this. What is in the shoe? Nobody knows. This is concerned. So, right? So they had taken that as an advantage and carry certain things and throwing something the smoke bomb. And immediately I just recollected because we don't know what sort of organization and what the purpose them in a freedom moment. Okay, one of the person entered the Central Legislative Assembly and throw the bomb. Who? 1920s. Ah, Bhagat Singh, isn't it? So one of the purpose of them to create this sort of things to get the attention, to get the attention of the world at large for their cause. Right or wrong is the next question. The way they have done may not be commendable, come what may. They'll try to get the attention of the world at large to their cause, to their issues. Now let us see what actually they are going to say, or is there any other mode is there, or which they have not explored. All these are subjective issues. As is just a smoke bomb, okay, loaded in a way, not harmful, but still this sort of activity is the thing. So security based. Immediately the case is filed, and again one of the issues arises UPA, right? Unlawful activities prevention. So you can just be update with us. So under this UPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, Section 16, they invoked punishment for the acts qualifying as terrorism. Okay, so whom we call the terrorists and all the things. And the moment they have done something, yes, it will be that. Similarly, they feel for this conspiracy. What is the meaning of the conspiracy? Gang up. Good putani antanga. So before you execute anything, you will come together, sketch it, right? In our language, you plan it, what to do, what not to do, will be there. So here it looks like more than five was involved, right? So a joint liability, collective liability issues will arise. Some are inside, some are outside. Some throw the bomb, that smoke bomb perhaps, some didn't. Those who throw the bomb, those who not. Is the punishment the same or different? Just a general question I'm asking. If at all will be there. Why? They are not done, no, just they are saying. uh, it's not the breach of parliament related. It is when you use the word conspiracy, you gang up. So, for example, one person is outside, see that anybody is coming and one person enters and kill somebody. So both are liable for the same thing. One is helping the another. A joint liability we call. If it is more than five, okay, it's called collective liability. Considered as an unlawful. That is something you are doing against the law. The thing is concerned. So punishment will be severe in the time. Even you can impose up to life imprisonment as well to each and everyone involved. Now that there are six people, right, getting involved in the point. Not only the person who executed, even the person behind who instigated them to go ahead with this, the plan for this one. I think the person surrendered in a way. So let us wait and see. So I mean, what I mean, these are the things which you have to look into. Okay, when your qualitative reading part is concerned. So right now, 34, section 34 of IPC dealing with joint liability, and section 149 of IPC dealing with collective liability. And this conspiracy, all the things, right? When everything is concerned, everybody will be punished, and the word very important. Then similarly, not only just the general, they made is the criminal conspiracy charges. Then there's a trespass. You entered into, right, without authorized permission when your staying is concerned, and though you entered for one person a visiting gallery, instead of that you have done something, still that considered as a trespass. And provocation with intent to cause riots, all these things is another section they made it. Then similarly, obstructing and assaulting public servants in the discharge of their duty, anything is once you obstruct, okay, while the thing is concerned. So under this, all the sections they impose. So let us wait and see how the law will take its course, and those will be punished in tune with the law. The reason why in the thing now, when I said the Bhagat Singh, no doubt we appreciated at the time we are fighting against the Britishers. For that government, they are the terrorists. For us, they are the warriors of the country, right? So, Desha Bhaktul, the devotees, they completely dedicated to the nation, ready to sacrifice their lives. We appreciate it. So, that version is always be there, the variants of looking part. But as now it's ours, when you are fighting ourselves, always suggestible is constitutional means rather than extra constitutional means. Then, of course, another news item regularly report. So, cash for query allegations are there, and Mahua Moitra finally get expelled from the Lok Sabha on the recommendation of Ethics Committee report. So here, when this comes to the Ethics Committee, because there are a number of committees in the Parliament, so that specialized committees looked into, and one of the committee, the Ethics Committee, it is now the full-time committee. Again, we are preparing Andhra. Keep in mind this when the speaker at that time is one of the person belonged to Andhra Pradesh, became the speaker of Lok Sabha. Who? Hmm? Sure? So it's the Bala Yogi who has done it, right? And I'll just tell you the year, because this committee looked into all this moral ethical conduct of the members, no doubt, and it will examine any misconduct that happens. So 1996, a decision was taken, right? This ethics panel should be there. Before, there's no idea till that one. I mean, in the parliament committees, it is not there till 1996. So first time this an idea was mooted. Then in 1997, the first time, then Vice President, of course, ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha, K.R. Narayanan, constituted in the upper house first time this committee. Okay. Then later in the Lok Sabha, same year, it came it up 97 itself. Initially, it's be there, but when the Balayogi was the speaker in 2000, he created ad hoc committee. So this is an ad hoc committee during this Balayogi period. Okay. Then 2015, it became permanent part of the house. So from 2015 onwards, it became permanent. So this is what a few statistics relating to ethics committee how to keep in mind. As the Balayogi name, we are recollecting and advisable who preparing for this Andhra Pradesh related. Anything will be that. Okay. And how many members in this committee? 15. Because advisable, right? And generally, members are appointed by whom? By the speaker for a period of 1 year. All the committees. And currently headed by BJP MP Vinod Kumar Sankar. Rarely they may ask it, but as the issue is that advisable to make himself. Okay. So now that the decision of the Lok Sabha over, expelled her without any proof, right? Because the even committee recommended investigation into the issue by CBI and other thing. Whoever be them, let them investigate. Because ethics committee is not an investigative body. But prima facie, okay, once it come to the conclusion, it recommended and approved by voice vote in the Lok Sabha. What is voice vote? Without any voting, say yes or no, look at this part is concerned, right? Approved by Lok Sabha, so it was expelled. Now, bigger question, she feels that, okay, injustice has done. Can she go to the Supreme Court and file a case, or High Court, or any court of law against this decision? Or the House is beyond the judicial scrutiny? What are the members' privileges as well as powers of the House? These are all again a constitutional issues which you have to look into, my dears. Huh? What is that? Is it for the members or for the House? Okay. So when can be approached in a way, Moitra can challenge the expulsion, no doubt, in the Supreme Court, despite Article 122, when this Article 122 is a general immunity for House proceedings. Immunity for proceedings. That means whatever happened in the House, court can't look into. Okay? House will decide who are you, like this, right? Because legislature, executive, judiciary, the three organs of the government, they're independent on its own. Everything can't be looked into by the court. So 122 under this, whatever happened in the House is House duty. But still, right, when something is not happened in tune with the letter and spirit of the provisions of the Constitution, court can invoke its power, and anyhow she can, okay, challenge the decision. And that's happened, right, when 2007 Raja Ram Paul case, okay, the quick recollections in a way set this precedent, allowing this judicial review. What is judicial review? Review by judiciary. What they are reviewing, already decision has taken. So legislature has executive orders. Whether those laws or orders are in tune with the provisions of the Constitution or not. If yes, okay. If not, strike it off. That's the power of judicial review. Reviewing both the laws, that is, the acts passed by the legislature, as well as the orders issued by the executive, either in the form of GO, ordinance, and everything. So here, in this, they use the word substantive or gross illegality or unconstitutionality. They use the word substantive or gross illegality or unconstitutionality. Yes, it can be challenged. So on this, now Moitra is going to file a case. So let us wait and see what is going to happen. This is what such a Raja Rampal case in 2007 when he was expelled MPs. Okay, when Supreme Court heard the case, right, upheld the Parliament's at the time they upheld the Parliament expansion. Only emphasized that actions tainted by his, if this can, they can look into. And at the time, it also talked about this Article 105(3). 122 is, it is restraining court to look into. What is 105(3) or 105 for that matter? Okay, it is for the privileges. Okay, Parliament's powers and privileges. Not there. Okay, and especially this 3, it doesn't grant absolute immunity. Okay, when talk absolute immunity, yes, final, whatever I did is it, but it doesn't grant. This is a word which you have to keep in. It doesn't grant absolute immunity to parliamentary proceedings. So judicial scrutiny is allowed. Okay, so there's a part you have to keep in mind. So like these issues, whenever it will be there, just go through so that you will recollect those important aspects. Any doubt? Then, of course, one more bill recent Rajya Sabha passes regarding the chief election commissioners and election commissioners by the center. This we discussed last time very much. They are relating to the appointment of chief election commissioner and other election commissioners. Isn't it? So hitherto, the president, of course, on the advice of the cabinet, appoints the chief election commissioners as well as election commissioners as a multi-member body. Recently, Supreme Court, in the month of March only, came up stating that because something is going wrong, so appointment should be done by a panel. A panel consisting of, apart from Prime Minister, leader of the opposition, as well as Chief Justice of India. And that is not tasty to the government, it looks like. So it came up now against that judgment. Okay. They excluded CJ. Who will be there now? Prime Minister as it is, leader of opposition as it is. Instead of CJ, another minister nominated by minister. That means virtually 2-1. Even leader of opposition said no, nothing is going to happen. Okay. So they wanted to have the lead, and now that approved, once later approved by Lok Sabha, everything become the act, again it will go back to Court. Now let us see what Supreme Court will say on this. So this tit for tat or something like that may continue till again finally Supreme Court strike it off. Then, of course, one more thing, quick recollection, Amit Shah chairs Eastern Zonal Council. So here, I wish to make it up because it's a routine matter, no doubt. What is the Zonal Council? What for the Zonal Council? In the beginning, we are discussing, right, when it comes to the issue of relations between central government and state government. Coordination is essential. At the same time, problems are but natural. So you have to resolve the issues. Now you are seeing no Andhra Pradesh versus Telangana regarding Krishna water issues. So this sort of thing should not be there. So regular meeting of the zonal councils is essential. So India is get divided into 5 or 6. Eastern zone means there should be a western zone, northern zone, southern zone, in between central zone. Then one more is northeastern zone. Good. So totally, initially 5 become the thing, and Home Minister is an ex officio chairman of all the zones. So to resolve any issues among the states within that zone, this was constituted. Okay, a setup was made. Though we have interstate council is there. There is another thing, Article 263 talking of interstate council. Now and then that will meet. But this has to meet regularly so that the issues will be discussed in depth and resolved therewith. Then, of course, melody effect or whatever it be is concerned, and a crazy thing that happened in a way. Okay, so Italian Prime Minister Meloni. Then how Meloni become melody? Uh, so she has taken the her name and of course Modi. Okay, Modi Meloni become okay. Modi Meloni become melody. That's what the selfie she made recently and posted in a way. So one of the things that happens immediately after this selfie and her posting concern, the Italy has taken the decision that they are quitting the Belt and Road Initiative. That's what called BRI project. Okay, so the Italian Prime Minister has taken the bold decision of withdrawing Italy from, yeah, bold decision, no doubt about it. So withdrawing is not an easy task from this, and because right again it is nothing but you are virtually dealing with the China. So how far advisable is the question mark? No doubt is a G7 country, only G7 country. There's a group of 7 countries that has accepted. So finally, as after the selfie this happened, so we don't know the impact of Modi on her decision. Okay, that is subjective. Then, so here is it joined in BRI in 2019 only. At the time itself, there's a criticism in Italy. Why you are? As it said, is a part of the G7, the group of 7 countries. When America and other countries they are opposing, why you are? Okay, that itself is against the spirit of the group. So the issue are going. Finally, the Meloni has taken this decision, and the reasons they stated: the widening trade deficit, okay, then decreasing FDI from China, and Beijing alignment with Moscow. Now that Russia-Ukraine war, and most of the time China is with the thing, and G7 is against. So both for political and economic reasons, both for political and economic reasons, Italy withdraws from BRI. Okay. Now tell me quick recollection of what is BRI? Belt and Road Initiative. What is the old name of BRI? Hmm? Yeah. Something is on online too is going on. Something I not address this online issues, right? Bhavani, Aparna, then Lakshmi, all the way mentioned is good enough. Okay, right. Oh, OBOR, one belt, one road. So OBOR became the BRI. It is what means BRI? It's a connectivity project. So always when you made it simply, right? So initially OBOR is no more, now is the BRI, is a connectivity. This is a word which you have to keep in mind. The Chinese vision of connecting China with the rest of the world. This connecting through the road and through the sea. Otherwise ports, connecting different ports of the seaports. Okay. The thing is concerned. And this is how the issue is that. So China, this is all existing. This is further proposed issues. Okay. Then this part, this dots, ports connecting all the way. So railways, planned railways constructions, key stations, maritime road, economic belt, all the way. Okay. So China is getting deeper into it. More than 150 countries already signed up for this BRI. And recently withdrawal is happening. Already India, is it okay with BRI? So India is opposing and America is opposing. And those who signed, so Sierra Leone, for example, the Philippines, announced their exit from BRI. So 2018 that came out, and Philippines, and including Maldives, uh, Mauritius, not Maldives, Mauritius, and our neighbor Bangladesh, they rescheduled their things. Even Pakistan too, modified certain things, keeping the Sri Lanka's experiences. Okay, but they are not withdrawn. They are not withdrawn. They reduce their dependency. Okay, because it's all checkbook diplomacy we call. Don't worry, you want to lay the road, we'll lay the road. First, road is will come. Later, you can pay the money. Okay. So, in that issue, it is their concern. So, this is an aim. China-led infrastructure project to link Southeast Asia, Central Asia, Gulf region, Africa, and Europe with land and sea routes. So, this is what the thing, and launched from 2013. So its aim mainly deepening regional integration, promoting trade and stimulating economic growth. And two things are Silk Road economic belt, maritime Silk Road. Okay. Then, so India, we are opposing this. Simple reason is that CPEC, China, Pakistan economic corridor, starting from Kashgar to Gwadwar. So it's China, it's in Pakistan. Why we are is because here up to here is India, right? So as it is passing through this area, so we can consider disputed for India part. It's under Pakistani control, but we want this claiming it's in India. Right now it's under Pakistan control, Gilgit Baltistan, okay, GB. So as it is passing through the disputed territory, so we are against this, okay. Apart from this India's concern, right, what it passes through the Gilgit-Baltistan region, so it is violating India's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And of course, I also said India's undermined influence over smaller South Asian countries is another thing. And apart from India's concern, the world too, its unsustainable debts, as the Sri Lanka issue is very clear. It lost someone thought of port for that purpose. And similarly, there's issues like corruption scandals, labor violations, environmental issues also. So, but still, China is going ahead. And now that Italy, the major country, withdraw, what are the consequences has to be looked at. Then other initiatives of BRI, okay, there's what partnership for global infrastructure investment, India, Middle East, Europe economic corridor, even international north-south transport corridor, INSTC, and this is very much useful for India, right? And we are aligned with that. Okay, only overall project we are not aligned with. So keep that in mind and do this. Then, of course, one more thing regarding Bangladesh, a new thing is coming now, the free trade part, CEPA. What is CEPA? Now that it is coming up, very clear is concerned. So, comprehensive economic partnership agreement is about to be signed. Okay. So, after that, we'll discuss in detail. So, it want to create a free trade zone that will significantly reduce custom duties. Okay, that's the most important thing is concerned. Of course, we have existing what you call SAPTA, South Asian Free Trade Agreement is also there, so that will take care of it. So one of the issue you have to keep in mind talks for special importance is because Bangladesh is going to be a developing nation by 2026. And hitherto, it was dubbed as a least developed one. So it get promotion from least developed country to developing nation. So once it is moving from one step to another, the terms and conditions differ. So if you enter this agreement later, it will be different. Now different. As India first policy, right? Neighborhood first. India first, neighborhood first at the same time. So we wanted to give a helping hand to the nation. So that will be the part. So you have to, because of that reason, now we are moving ahead mainly for that purpose. Then, of course, recently the COP concluded. So requesting you, you have all the details, no doubt about it. So go through that, the main essentials and everything. Last session we discussed the main crucial aspects. All others you can so the thing what is concerned. So there's a transition away from the fossil fuel, as well as global renewable energy efficiency package, loss and damage fund, global goal on adaptation and cooling pledge, declaration of triple nuclear energies, coal transitions, and CHOMP initiative. This CHOMP initiative, right? Coalition for High Ambition Multilateral Partnership, maybe for uh, the climatic action, right? You have to keep in mind is an initiative. Then climate finance, and apart from this, the India's initiatives also here. Global River Cities Alliance, okay, is an unique alliance covering 275 plus global river cities in 11 countries. So that sustainable river-centric development they want to make it. Similarly, Green Credit Initiatives is a platform for exchange of innovative environmental programs related to water conservation and afforestation. So both the thing, water conservation, afforestation was taken into. So these two, Global River Cities Alliance, Green Credit Initiatives, they are the India-led initiative in this meeting. And last time we discussed very in detail about this loss and damage fund, as well as the global goal of adaptation issues. Okay, so make note of those things, and I think in your science and technology session you will have more detail on this. Then one more thing is Article 99 of the UN Charter is in the news, because like every country has a constitution, the UN too have its own. That's called charter. So one of the discretion when now different issues are going on, either relating to Russia, Ukraine, or now Israel, Gaza related. So the United Nations Secretary General raised the occasion and reminded the primary duty of the Security Council to promote international peace and security. So the issue that there's a discretion power of the Secretary General to make points so that you can mold the decisions of the, or you can create an impact, you may say, on the decisions of the Security Council. So it allows the Secretary General to bring the attention of Security Council on any matter which threaten the maintenance of international peace and security. So when you say this attention of the Security Council, why? Because the primary duty of Security Council. Security Council is an executive wing consisting of 15 countries, 5 permanent, 10 non-permanent. America, Britain, China, France, and Russia. Right? 5 permanent countries, ABCFR, which enjoys veto power, and non-permanent elected for a period of 2 years. But the decision Security Council able to take only when all 5 countries said yes. There's the problem. Now Russia, Ukraine war. So Russia itself is war. How automatically it will exercise veto. Security Council become innovative. But it's not the case with Israel vis-a-vis with Israel. But anyhow, America is with Israel. So let us see this. May not be so. Creating an attention is important. As that issue came up, make note of the issue. Similarly, 40 years since India became permanent resident of Antarctica. Now it's 40 years back the India entered into Antarctica. That is 1983. India's first Indian permanent research station was established in Antarctica. That is Dakshina Gangotri, and it was abandoned in 1990. Later, overall, then we have the Maitri as well as Bharati. Maitri in 1988 and Bharati in 2012 created. So overall 3, right now 2 operational and 1 was abandoned. And overall first expedition part is concerned 1981. Okay, so quick recollection of those things. Then of course India's new stealth combat drone Gathak. Okay, it's now ready. Now trials are going on. It's an UAV, unmanned. Okay, something like a drone, and wonderfully it is doing. It is concerned. Then, of course, regarding sports, the Vaishali Ramesh Babu became India's 84th Grandmaster, and is a no, is a brother sister duo. Who is the brother of her? Pragnan, right? So because of looked like she was receded to background because of him, right? So 84th Grandmaster in this one. So she was the third female Grandmaster from India after Koneru, Hampi, and Harika. So his younger brother, right? Pragnananda. Now the first sister brother. And recent Grandmaster titles, when he says this, she's in 84th, 83rd, Aditya Samant, 82, Praneeth Uppala, right? From Telangana, once it is given, right? That's last time we discussed anyway. So go through once again, right? Then, of course, last one, as the year ending coming, they use the word which words mostly searched and mostly used by a Cambridge dictionary come up with hallucination, and rich is the word by Oxford, and Merriam dictionary come as an authentic, but now AI that is going to be by this Collins and Chat GPT, right? By Wikimedia. So there are different words now and then appeared. So just take care about this, right? So that's all for today. So any doubts, clarifications? Nanda, what I gave for the mention, right? Okay, right. Thank you very much. So meet you again next week. Bye.